What's up, YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood movie nerd, back to give you guys all the latest news in the world of movies and TV. So, as you guys know, we have a lot of blockbusters that we are looking forward to. March is slowly winding down, and then we get into April and May, and come May, blockbuster season is full steam ahead. But as you guys know, March, the month of March, had a lot of blockbusters released. With the releases, we saw the releases of Logan and Kong Skull Island in the first 2 weeks. We are now seeing Beauty and the Beast released this weekend, and next weekend we'll see the release of Power Rangers. So, it made me notice something. Blockbusters are starting to spread from being exclusively summer releases, trying to get away from that bad taste that was last summer's releases, and try and spread their way out to all quadrants of the year. Right now, the only 2 months that I've seen didn't have that many blockbusters in it were January, and as I was looking forward in the year, August and September. And that's it. Every single other month has at least one major blockbuster that's getting released. So I decided for this video to go ahead and let you guys know, just include you guys in as to some of the smaller movies that are coming out for the rest of the year. What do I mean by that? Well, as you guys know, a lot of the smaller independent movies don't get a lot of press release, and as a result, don't get seen by as many of you people, and therefore they don't make a lot of money, and therefore studios are not inclined to take big risks on small movies, and which causes us to get sequel after sequel after sequel, which causes you people to complain. So I'm going to clue you guys in into some of the original movies that are going to be coming out in the year of 2016. There are going to be two categories. You've got the ones that are getting theatrical releases, and then you've got ones that are just going straight to a streaming service, exclusively on Netflix, because Netflix is kind of the only streaming service that releases their schedule ahead of time. So, without further ado, here is a look. I'm going to break down each one of these individually. Here is a look ahead at the year of 2017 for independent releases. Alright, so kicking off this list, coming out in about 2 weeks, March 24th, dropping directly on Netflix, you have The Most Hated Woman in America, directed by Tommy O'Haver and starring Melissa Leo as Madeline Murray O'Hare, an atheist activist whose efforts led to a Supreme Court ruling banning official Bible readings in public schools. That sounds super interesting. So that one is dropping right on Netflix on March 24th. That's 2 weeks from now. Next after that, you've got yet another Netflix release. The week after that, Friday, March 31st, that's also the weekend for blockbusters, Ghost in the Shell is being released. You've got The Discovery, another straight-to-Netflix release. This one is being directed by Charlie McDowell. It stars Jason Segel, Rooney Mara, and Robert Redford. So in the plot summary, this one is soon after the existence of the afterlife has been scientifically proven. Jason Segel plays the son of the guy who discovered it, that being Robert Redford. He falls in love with a woman with a tragic past, as millions of people are starting to commit suicide in the wake of the discovery of the afterlife. So that sounds really cool. Again, that will be dropping on Netflix in 2 weeks, March 31st. After that, you've got yet another Netflix release dropping the week after that, April 7th, 2017. You've got Win It All, directed by Joe Swanberg and co-written by the star of the film, Jake Johnson. You guys will probably know him from New Girl and Jurassic World. In this movie, Jake Johnson plays a gambling addict whose friend is going off to jail, except before he goes off, he leaves him with a duffel bag that he tells him to not open. However, when he accidentally opens it, he finds out that there's a bunch of cash in there, so he ends up not being able to resist the urge, and he ends up dipping into the funds in order to quell his gambling addiction. That looks super fun. It's also co-starring Joel Trujillo from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Keegan-Michael Key of Key and Peele. That looks super cool. You guys should definitely check it out. That's being released on April 7th. Next, you've got, surprise, surprise, another Netflix release dropping on April 21st on Netflix. You've got Sandcastle, which is an upcoming British war drama directed by Fernando Coimbra, I think I'm saying that right, which stars Nicholas Hoult from the X-Men prequels. He plays a young Beast, as well as Henry Cavill. You guys will know him as Superman. The film centers on Matt Oker, a young machine gunner tasked to save a village in Iraq. It's based on a true story. Basically, he's an inexperienced private who basically begins to understand what war is really like. So that looked really cool. So that's dropping on April 21st. Then dropping again also on April 21st. This is the first theatrically released film that I'm getting to. All of these other films that I've seen, as of right now, I'm pretty sure they're only getting exclusively dropped on Netflix. They're not getting a theatrical run. But this film is, and it's called Free Fire. It's directed by Ben Wheatley, and it stars a lot of people who I'm very into. Brie Larson, Armie Armie Hammer, Cillian Murphy, Jack Rayner, and Charlton Copley all star in this film about a group of people who end up going to a gun deal that goes severely wrong. Basically, Brie Larson sets up, I think it's Armie Hammer and Charlton Copley are in a gang that are supposed to be supplying guns to these two Irish brothers played by Jack Rayner and Cillian Murphy. You guys can check all those guys out on their IMDb page. Just to give you a quick run through, Brie Larson, recent Oscar winner from Room. Armie Hammer just recently appeared in The Social Network as the Winklevoss twins and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Charlton Copley, better known as Murdoch in the theatrical run of the A-Team. Jack Rayner, jerk boyfriend from Transformers Age of Extinction, as well as the fantastic older brother in Sing Street, as well as Cillian Murphy, better known as the Scarecrow in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. This film looks like hella fun. It looks funny. It looks like it's full of action. There's going to be plenty of cursing, guns, violence. If you like all that stuff, then this is the movie for you. Free Fire, released theatrically April 21st. After that, wrapping up the month of April, you got the next Netflix original movie on here, again being dropped directly to Netflix April 28th, and that is Small Crimes, directed by E.L. Katz. This movie stars Nikolai Coster-Waldau, better known as Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones, as the disgraced former cop who returns home after a 6-year prison sentence in order to find some redemption, except he ends up finding himself trapped in the mess that he was in that got him put in prison in the first place. The film also co-stars Molly Parker, Gary Cole, Robert Forster, and Macon Blair. It looks super interesting. It looks super dark, but it also looks like it might have some comedic tones to it. I'm also really interested because I haven't really seen Nikolai Coster-Waldau be given a chance to act outside of Game of Thrones. So if you are into everything that I just said, then check this movie out. Small Crimes, dropping on April 28th. Next up, you've got the only big release that it looks like in May, and that is, surprise, surprise, another Netflix drop. Dropping on May 26th, you've got War Machine, which is directed by David Mikod. A lot of weird foreign guys. It will be starring Brad Pitt, and it's set to be a satire of the war in Afghanistan. There's not really too much information that's been revealed about that movie, but all I know is Brad Pitt, war movie, satire. I'm all in. So that one is dropping on Netflix on May 26th. Next, we're getting deep into the summer months with our next release. This is going to be a theatrical release from the studio that is now an Academy Award-winning studio, A24, the studio behind Moonlight. And this one is called It Comes at Night, a horror film directed by Trey Edward Schultz. This one stars Joel Edgerton and Riley Keough from American Honey, and it's secure within a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world. The tenuous domestic order a man has established with his wife and son is put to the ultimate test with the arrival of a desperate young family seeking refuge. Despite the best intentions of both families, paranoia and mistrust boil over as the horrors outside creep ever closer, awakening something hidden and monstrous within him as he learns that the protection of his family comes at the cost of his soul. Wow, that sounds awesome. So that is being released by A24 on June 9th, so keep an eye out for that. It Comes at Night. Next up, you guys love Straight Outta Compton, right? Well, don't worry. Well, you guys better get your rap back on, because this summer we are getting another big biopic about a rapper. It is one that was gone far too soon. It is the Tupac Shakur biopic, All Eyes on Me, directed by Benny Boom, which will be starring Demetrius Shipp Jr. as Pac himself. I'm not sure which part of his life. Oh, wait, here we go. It's going to focus on his career. Oh, so this is going to be about his entire life, not focusing on a section of his life all the way up until his fatal shooting in 1996. Tupac would have been, it looks like 46 today? 46? Yeah, 46. So, yeah, that one I think is going to be great, and that is being released on June 16th, so keep your eyes out for that one. All Eyes on Me. Alright, next up is another film that got rave reviews coming out of Sundance. It is co-written and starring Kumail Nanjiani, better known as Dinesh from Silicon Valley. It stars him and Zoe Kazan as a Pakistani stand-up comic and his girlfriend who are trying to make ends meet. This one is being distributed by Amazon Studios, and it's being released on June 23rd. It's directed by Mike Showalter, and Kumail has basically gone on record to state that this is kind of like a representation of him and his wife, Emily what's her name? Emily V. Gordon's relationship going forward. So this one, again, got rave reviews coming out of Sundance. If you like Kumail Nanjiani, I would definitely recommend this. I'm certainly looking forward to this one. So that is The Big Sick, and it's being released on June 23rd. So keep your eyes out for that one. All right, next we've got another one from A24. This is directed by David Lowery, and it's called A Ghost Story, starring Rooney Mara and Casey Affleck. This one's being released on July 7th. There's not too much about this film online. It just says, after dying, a man haunts his wife. Okay? But it's A24, and I'm interested in it, so I am pointing it out for you guys. Again, it's being released on July 7th, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that one. A Ghost Story. Again, it's the studio that gave us Moonlight, American Honey, Green Room, The Lobster, and what's another one that they did last year? Point being, they're a great studio, and I'm kind of willing to try. Oh, and 20th Century Women. So I'm kind of willing to go along with anything that they release now. So keep your eyes out for that. A Ghost Story, July 7th. Next one, okay, now this is a good one. We are getting into the world of action, away from some of the smaller independent ones, directly into the world of action. This is coming from the creators of John Wick, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, and it's called Atomic Blonde. Being released on July 28th, this film will see Charlize Theron play a top-level MI6 agent in Berlin 1989 around the collapse of the Berlin Wall. She's dispatched to take down a ruthless espionage ring that has just killed an undercover agent for reasons unknown. She is forced to team up with Berlin Station Chief David Percival, and they form an easy alliance. I saw the trailer for this. This movie looks kick-ass. If you loved everything about John Wick, then you are most likely going to love everything about this movie. It stars Charlize Theron, James McAvoy, and John Goodman. Everybody in this movie looks incredible. This movie looks incredible. The action, like I said, Chad and David, they absolutely know what they're doing in terms of action, considering the guys have been doing stunt coordinations for years now. So that's Atomic Blonde. Again, if you love action and you love Charlize Theron, you will definitely not want to miss this one. Gets its wide release on July 28th. So keep your eyes out for that one. All right, we've got some more big ones coming up now. So this is another one, yet again, from another critically acclaimed director, and honestly, horrifically underrated. He created the Cornetto trilogy and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Several films that were very, very well appreciated by and developed cult followings, yet didn't make their money back at the box office. Anyway, this is his next film, and it's called Baby Driver. It's an action crime film that stars Ansel Elgort from Fault in Our Stars and Divergent as a young getaway driver for a crime ring with tinnitus who is constantly listening to music. It's also got a supporting cast that includes Kevin Spacey, Lily James, John Barenthal, John Hamm, and Jamie Foxx. It looks absolutely incredible. Let's see. Basically, he's trying to get out of his life of crime in order to be with the girl of his dreams, except he has to work one last job for his boss, who is Kevin Spacey. And again, this movie, it looks absolutely incredible. I think Edgar Wright is really going to knock it out of the park, this one. So make sure you guys check it out. That one is being released on August 11th. So do not let Edgar Wright down this time. Let this movie make its money back. Baby Driver, August 11th. All right, winding down here, continuing with August releases. This is another one from another great, incredible director who kind of hasn't had a hit in a while. He also hasn't done a theatrical release in a while, and the film is called Logan Lucky, and it's directed by Steven Soderbergh. So basically, the premise of this film is that two brothers, played by Adam Driver and Channing Tatum, they play Jimmy and Clyde Logan. They're trying to reverse a family curse, so they set out to execute an elaborate robbery during the legendary Coca-Cola 600 race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, the names like that, Tatum, Adam Driver, Seth MacFarlane's in this, Daniel Craig is in this, Katie Holmes, Hilary Swank, Catherine Watterson, Sebastian Stan, plus with a name like Steven Soderbergh, this movie looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic, and that is being released on August 18th, day after my birthday. I'm going to be turning 20. Oh, fuck my life. Anyways, that movie looks incredible. Logan Lucky, Steven Soderbergh, make sure you guys keep your eyes out for that one. And the last film that is on this list, this is another one that, again, got rave reviews coming out of Sundance. It's directed by Luca Guadagnino, and it stars Timothée Chalamet, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Adam Driver. It's a both U.S. and Italian film picture, and basically a 17-year-old boy living in Italy in the 1980s meets Oliver, a 24-year-old academic who's come to stay at his parents' villa, and they end up developing a passionate relationship. So that looked really, really cool, and cannot wait to see that movie. Timothée Chalamet, I'm trying to think of any other thing he would be in. The only thing that I've seen him in is I know that he was Casey Affleck's younger version in Interstellar. He was Tom Cooper's other kid that he like notoriously did not pay attention to. Anyways, you guys know who Armie Hammer is, and you guys know who Michael Stuhlbarg is. So that is Call Me by Your Name, and that just got an official release on November 24th. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that one. It could be up for a lot of awards. Alright, so those are all the films that I have for this list for today. Don't worry, there are a lot more independent films that are out there. They just do not have release dates. Unfortunately, you've got a bunch more that are coming to Netflix, such as Mudbound and Bright. Bright I am especially looking forward to because Max Landis wrote that one. You've got a couple more bigger ones that don't have names, but they have release dates, such as the Untitled Catherine Bigelow Detroit Riots movie, Darkest Hour, which will star Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill. You've got the Thurgood Marshall biopic starring Chadwick Boseman, as well as Mother, which is Darren Aronofsky's next film that he will be doing with Jennifer Lawrence. All of those films and more to look forward to coming throughout the rest of the year. But those are all the films as of right now that have release dates that I could fill you guys in about as much as I could. As much information as there is, you just got from me. So there you go. Now you can't complain that there are no original independent movies to watch, because now you have independent movies. You can now go watch them. You are welcome, internet. So that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video. Make sure you click that like button and that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Movie Nerd Review. Also head on over to the website, movienerdreviews.com. That is it. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time.